Yes, sir. It's Yay Night Gaming back with the content series Preseason Preview, which I'll be picking a few 2K League teams and going over thoughts on their key moves over the offseason, which includes draft picks, changes, and also providing some predictions as well. Everything based on their preseason acquisitions and decisions. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay locked in for your favorite 2K League and Pro-Am content. This episode going over Pacers Gaming with their fourth season in the 2K League. Let's get into it. Pacers Gaming coming off a 4-12 record from Season 3. They retained three players with Jomar, Wolf, and Swizzerk. Jomar putting up 12.5 points a game with 8 boards and 4 assists. Wolf averaging 10.8 points a game with 6 boards. And Swizzerk averaging 17 points a game with 2.6 assists to bat. And bringing back 3 4-year veterans this year. Pacers look to recover from last season's struggles and turn the status of the franchise around heading into season 4. Jomar planning to line up permanently at the center spot this season shows flashes at being a solid contributor to the defensive impact the Pacers could have on the team. Can move around and play other positions if need be. Notice that he plays up to his competition when going against other top centers. At the same token, not always separating himself when tipping off against middle of the pack talent. Would like to see him expand his offensive skill set and get more aggressive with the ball in his hands and show that he can make reads and dominate a game himself. With Wolf coming in for the Pacers for his 4th year, he's returning for his 4th season in Naptown. Will more than likely play lock, but has shown that he can move to the 4th spot and play center if need be. Has the opportunity to show the world that he can still be considered as a top lock in the league. And the fact that he's still here in his 4th year, it shows that he is talented enough. So let's see what he gets done this season. Also for the 4th year, Swizzerk throws on the Pacer jersey. Was one of the bigger scoring options for the Pacers last season. With Randall getting drafted, Swizz will have to battle for that starting sharp spot. Haven't played much Pro-Am in preseason, but historically known for his ability to dex, off ball, and knock down open shots, and just flat out put points on the board. Now to dive a little bit into the draft selections, starting from the last pick to the front. Starting with Randolph, also known as Rando, returning back to the NBA 2K League after being suspended Season 3. It was a steal taking him at 40. Skilled at creating space off the decks, not shy with putting the ball on the floor and creating offense for himself. I think Randolph is in a comfortable situation here in Indy where he's working with a good point guard that can find him when he's moving around off the ball. And I think he's going to have enough of the freedom to take the ball and be able to create with the ball in his hands as well. Next, the versatile veteran, lavish phenom, chosen with the 26th pick this year after playing 3 seasons in Portland where he helped bring home 2 tourneys, ticket championship, and 3 playoff appearances. He's one of the top talented players in the draft. At the lock spot, he won a first team all defense and looking to bring the same impact at the power forward spot to the Pacers this season. Now with the 2nd pick, the Pacers chose to run with 630, aka OG Saf, who played Xbox in pre-draft, to run the one this season. 4th consecutive season drafting a point guard for Pacers Gaming. Played off ball for most of the part in pre-draft, but showed that he can be effective with the ball in his hands at point guard. A high ball usage guy, but very crafty at putting together combos to get open. Also is one of the players in the draft, if not the best player in the draft, at shooting the very second it gets open, which you will kind of see for yourself if you watch him play. He's an excellent shooter off the dribble and the catch, and he's developing as a playmaker. He seems to get better and better as time passes. The more I watch him, the better playmaker he becomes. With all that being said, with the picks that they've drafted, I would have to give them the grade of an A. Me personally, I'm just a huge fan of the players that Cody and the gang took at the time those guys were available. I think they got their best on that point guard. I think they got a really good veteran in Lavish and a really good sharp in Randall. They got a few steals at every spot, except the 2 spot, of course, because we all knew Crazy was going to 1. But you know what I'm saying? I think they really took really good talent at the time they had it available. But I do want to go over reasons why we think that the Pacers historically have tough luck with primary ball handling. Rumors say Pacers have a system and the point guard doesn't have the keys, or they look at the game too much of it at much of an analytical standpoint, which causes players to overthink a bit. In reality, the Pacers were just unlucky, in my opinion. Just like other teams that have tough seasons, things can't always click. Couldn't close out close games, and the pieces they had in the past didn't always fit when it came down the stretch. But from the outside, it's easy to blame everything on the point guard or the system or so-called system, even though each player that was drafted to play point guard for the Pacers are still in the league today. Which brings up a few of my concerns going forward. One being, will 630 break the curse at the point guard spot? Now, I've watched a few of the league scrims that they've had in the past couple weeks. 630 does look very comfortable already, even though this isn't the actual build. And in pre-draft, he has that kind of play to him where he's kind of above the whole pro-am thing. He has that type of game where it seems like it's kind of too easy to get open, and he's shooting the second he gets open, like I was saying earlier. And he's been showing that he can do that in these scrims against 2K League talent. But we'll see when the actual game is played. We never know. Next is how would Jomar perform at the center spot in big matchups? Like I mentioned earlier, Jomar has the tendency to play up the competition, but at the same time, he can play down or even does not pull away against the middle of the tier pack guys in the league. So I think this is his best year. It's the 1 year he's going to have, full range to play center, and this is the best time to show that he's a better center than people give him credit for. And then lastly, will the addition of Lavish and Randolph be enough to propel the players of the Pacers gaming to the playoffs? Sorry, that's a lot of P's. But I think they did a good job of drafting those guys there. But what we're gonna, I just hope that in terms of like a chemistry standpoint, that those guys be able to win games, not find themselves on the outside looking in. Now we have it to where there's 12 teams in the playoff. They just rolled out the Eastern and Western Conference in Twitter the last couple of days on social media. I think they're gonna have it where it's a style of like how the old NFL setting was, where it's like 1 and 2 seed get a bye, and there's and then 3 through 6 play in the conference games, and then they'll be able to get in through the ticket. But I think the Pacers will be good enough to get in. And with that being said, I'm going to give them the record prediction of a grade 9-7 or ranking of 9-7. I feel like with the leadership they have in place of having 5 veterans on the squad. I'm going to kind of count Randall here as a third-year veteran, even though I shouldn't by technicality. And then the one rookie with 630. When 630 is really talented, I think they're going to be able to. I think 630 is going to be able to adjust to the league build really quickly. I think they have enough leadership around them of experienced players, guys who've been on the stage and been in the league for a while. And then especially somebody like Lavish who's in there, who's been in the playoff setting before. Have those guys in the locker room kind of in his ears are going to make things better. Especially with Cody, who's kind of been on both sides of the spectrum now. Been in the playoffs before, and been in as a lottery team 4-12 before. So I think he's going to have 630 is an opportunity to learn a lot really quickly. So I think they're going to pull games away this season. But at the same time, I could be wrong, could be right, but the game has to be played. That wraps up this episode of Preseason Preview. I do appreciate all of those who chose to watch to the end. Don't be afraid to let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to lock into more 2K League and Pro-Am content. I dropped my socials below the video if you wish to follow me. Click on the links on the screen to enjoy the other preseason preview episodes, watch Pro-Am matchups. Also, check into the new segment 5 Wide, where I go into some of the prospects trying to get into the 2K League. And if all that isn't enough, I got a link here to enjoy some of the music that I've released. Till next time, take care and stay safe. Yes, sir!